Good day guys, how are you doing today? So we continue from where we stopped in the last class. We stopped at the basic syntax of Python using only the command line and the terminal. If you are using command line and you are using Linux machine or you are using the Mac OS machine. And today we will begin with different form of IDE. I want to test and run our codes on different different IDEs. I'm going to be using Vim. I'm going to be using VS Code. I'm going to also be using Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab, and then in a notebook and PyCharm. So I'm going to be testing the one that favors you. You can use. I also use Atom, but I won't be using Atom in this video. Please, if you have not watched our last class, please ensure you watch the installation and the setting part of the environment variables. We are using Windows machines. Now let's begin. And thanks for the subscribers so far. And we'll try to give you the best. Before we deep into questions, we still want to also understand some basic things. So that by the time we begin to conjure them together, it won't be like magic. So please ensure you go through these basic beginners tutorials. So now let's begin. Now we are going to be using Vim. Let me terminate. This is Vim environment. So if I want to open Vim environment, let me terminate. You can just quit. Q for quit. This is my terminal environment. You are using Linux or you are using machine. If you are on Windows, you can also install Putty. Putty will enable you to be able to install, to use all this Linux something we are talking about. Now let's try. Let me just type in Vim. Vim, by default, it came with some Linux machine, distribution machine, or alternatively, VI is the first part before Vim. So it also came. It came by default with all machine. If I use to say VI now, you can see I made myself in Vim environment. Now let's use Vim. We also have new Vim, some modified version of Vim. But now let's write Vim. Let's enter Vim. Let's type in Vim. You can also use touch command to create some. If you are used to Vim, I don't need to be teaching you all this. But in case you want to use Vim, so just if you are on Ubuntu, you should came by default. If it's not, just said you are going to just type sudo apt install Vim. That's all. But if you're on Fedora, just type sudo efn install Vim. But it should come by default. So, and because I'm using Fedora machine, so now let me log in. Let me go into our machine. So by default, it's going to save my file path here inside my path directory here, my working directory. If I put my working directory in pwd, this is my working directory inside home rapture. It's going to save the file there. But let me just Vim, type Vim. Now you want to enter. I'm pressing I cannot press anything. To insert, you can just go through some help command here. To insert, you press I. Now it will show you that you are in the insertion mode now. So you can see the insertion mode showing here at the bottom line here. So now let me try and do something. But firstly, if I write something like print, just the way we did last class, it's not even showing me some colorful something. Hello Jesus, hello world. So do something like this. You color it. It's not coloring this text for me, but I can easily save it by pressing the Control Escape if I'm on Fedora, the new Fedora, or just type Escape and leave the insertion mode. And the full column. Can you see the full column I type there? W means to write. Then you can give the file name space. Then the file name, let's call it hello.py. .py extension means it's a Python file. You will save it now. Now it has saved the file. The file has been written. You see it has changed to it has changed the color already. So the reason we are so using IDE so that we are going to be able to persist for persistence code writing, because in our former code, once we write everything in terminal and we close everything, we won't be able to edit those code again. For this one, I'm going to save it and I'm still going to reopen it again. Then I'm still going to meet our code back again. Now, we can also go to our terminal, but let me quit now. Full column cube has quit now. You know, I'm already now. Let me open it back now. We have that's vim. Our file name is hello.py. I type it now. I also put enter. Now I can see my file back now. Let's run this file. Let's see the performance. I can also run it. If I go close again, Q. I can also come here and type Python. I can also do this when I'm talking to you also in other. If you're also using Windows machine. So just write this and just say Python hello.py. And you see, I get my results there. Now let me go to back there, vim, and let me also just vim hello.py. Like I can also include my terminal just like my Visual Studio Code here. I can bring in my terminal here. I can bring to the right. I can bring to the left. But let me just bring to the bottom type. Just full column, bottom right. That is a terminal. You can type term or terminal. Now let's see. We have our visual. We have our what? We have the terminal below. Now, if I want to move to this window, I cannot move now. But you can press Ctrl W. Ctrl W will enable you to move. Can you see I'm moving? Alternatively, you can also use your mouse. But if you are using Vim, I told you earlier that you've already know some of this command. Just set mouse equals A. So I can choose, sorry, there's error there. Set mouse equals set mouse. Now I can move my mouse here. Can you see? I can select it. I can select it with my mouse now. Either of the two, I can come back here and re-edit. I'm sorry. So, okay. I press my I, then change visual mode. Can you see? Don't change to I. So, go to escape. Then I. Then it has changed to insertion mode now. So, then can you say okay? Print 57 plus 90. I need to save it. 90. Right, I can come here back again and run it. That's sorry for that. Python that hello.py. Can you see? We get the result. Now let's move to the other IDE. So you can continue if you like Vim. You can also install Vim in other Visual Studio. You can also let's open our other program IDE. The other program IDE. Let me open my Visual Studio Code down. Let me open my Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code should open now. Come in place. Terminal. Okay. Visual Studio Code. Okay, good. Then you can just, in case you don't know where to find your Visual Studio, just go to your browser. Just go to your browser. Let me launch my browser. Type in Google and it will show you your browser. Just go to your browser. Just type into Google Visual Studio Code download, both on Windows machine, Visual Studio. Although this is the majority of the tools being used by other developers, it's free, it's developed by Microsoft, so you can easily use these tools and you download for Windows, for Fedora Red Hat, you download the RPM. For Linux machine, you can even go to your distribution, write the command and install VL code and to install on your machine. Now I've installed it on my machine. Now let me come back to my Visual Studio Code. Go back to my Visual Studio Code. Then assume that all the path, you follow the path we've said the other time. Then the next thing you can do here is that Ctrl-Shift-P if you are on PC, or if you are on if you are on Mac, just type Command-Shift+P. Then you now type in Python interpreter. Python interpreter, you see something here. Let the interpreter here. If you are not using virtual environment, later on we are going to be talking about virtual environment. Virtual environment, let me just talk briefly about it. Enable you to select, just develop a Python environment to be able to build some unique project that you don't want to install all the dependencies on your machine. You just want to install it and bundle it with that project. You don't want to bug your system with other dependencies that you needed for just one project. So you can have virtual environment and use the Python version in it as well. But let's now consider Python 3. Recommended one is this, Python 3.12. I select it here. Now my VS Code has recognized it. Come to your market side here. This is the market side there. Type in Visual Studio Python. So that we are good. The reason for writing this is so that we are going to be having some IntelliSense. Enable for IntelliSense. We have like 129 million people have downloaded this plugin. So then again, we can also come in here and create a folder. And click on File and create a folder. It's good for you to create a folder. Where do you want to have your folder? Inside my document. And let me just create a new folder here. Let me call this Simple Python. Let me just name it that way. From there, I can open it. I can say OK. Now, what if my font? Yes, I trust this project. If my font is too small, come to File, Settings. Then let's increase our font. You can just say Fonts and search for my font and let me change to 20 because so that you guys can see it very well. The 24. Then I can come back here. Then yes, let me close it back. Then you can see some file here, or you can also right click here and click on File. Inside that folder, you see inside that folder. Let's name it as app.py. Now, good. Let's do some simple thing here. S equals to 19. In case you are wondering why is my Visual Studio Code showing my error at the right hand side, you can come to your market again and search for error lanes. Error lanes enables me to use those things. Just click on install and install this error lanes. About more than 4 million people have downloaded it. Then you come back to your code again. Get 98. Then you can just say stage equals maybe x plus y and see. So we cannot print our what? We'll print our z. You can just say okay, addition of x and y equals, then you can have it this way, z. Then you can just, by default my own is already saved, but if it's not saved, this auto save, go to File and go to auto save. Check it out. If you don't want that to be auto save for you, we will remove something now. Can you see this white? Can you see why something here showing here? Show me that I need to save this file, or else if I don't save it, some changes will not work in it. Then let me type in Z here and press Ctrl X. Therefore now, for I to run it, you can also run it with play here, or you can also come to your code run or your extension, type in code run and install it. Is it for C++, Java, enable to run to, or to me I prefer to be using command line, because I prefer command line instead of using that something. If I run this program now, when you run it now, it's going to run with this. And you see it's running. The answer is this 188. Good. Let me delete it. In case you don't see this one, just press Ctrl plus T sign. The T sign is beside your keyboard 1, or you come to your terminal, your menu bar, click on terminal, new terminal, then you cannot type Python app. You see, we are inside the simple Python environment, Python app.py, and we get the same result. Okay, that's cool. Now, let's go into now. We can also still use the Vim. The Vim we use the other time. I just search Vim, same thing. You don't want to be entering that, installing it on your something. You can also install Vim inside your VS Code or inside your PyCharm. And you see, there are 6.5 million of installed. You can also install it here. So instead of you using normal terminal for your Vim, you can also use Vim here. Okay, now let's go to the use of what our Jupyter notebook. I'm going to be using Jupyter notebook for us now. I'm going to display my browser now. Now let's go back to our Jupyter notebook. Our Jupyter notebook here. Come to Google, type Jupyter notebook. This is Jupyter Lab or Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook. Just come to install Jupyter notebook. So you're going to install this Jupyter notebook. Install this and open your terminal. This is Jupyter notebook. I'll open your terminal and type and copy it and paste this here and copy this code. If you are using Anaconda package, you can just use the conda install. Use conda install this Jupyter notebook, copy it and paste it inside your terminal and click enter. It will work. Then if you have a network, then you can also install. If you are also using Jupyter Lab, you can also copy it. If you are using pip means Python installer package. Also just copy it here, use it here, copy and paste inside your terminal. Okay, if I copy now and paste it inside my terminal, let me open my terminal for you guys. The terminal now. If I open it and see where's my terminal. Okay, let me open a new tab terminal here. I paste it here now. It will tell me the requirements are already satisfied. And you see, that's already been installed on my machine. Now I can also click on what Jupyter notebook or Jupyter Lab. You can also use Jupyter Lab. So now if I use Jupyter Lab now, you should be able to open my browsers. It has opened my browser now automatically for me. If you are not seeing it, let me show that you are seeing it. Okay, it's not, you're not seeing it now. It has opened it for me now automatically. So once you open it this way, you can just do one thing. The thing you can do is just create a file. You can have a new file, notebook. I have another new notebook here. I have this a new cell. Just type in something. You can delete it here, delete it. This is a brand new notebook here. I say okay. I say hello world. Shift enter to run. Let's tell you what hello world is what I've not put inside a string. If I put inside a string, it will respond. Hello world. Hit enter. Can you see hello world? Then this is a string, anything like that. And I can just okay, 56 plus 90. Hit enter. We jump or use this command, this button here, to select and to run everything. Understand? You can do that. You can also use you are used to Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook, just come to your command line again. Just type in notebook. Jupyter notebook. Then just type it here. Let me enable it so I can see my terminal, what I'm doing. So Jupyter notebook. We'll just do something like this. Now it has opened. Yes, opened now. It has opened Jupyter notebook for me. Then I can easily new Python kernel. Can you see I have used Jupyter notebook? It's different from Jupyter Lab. Okay? Can you see now? Same thing, same approach using your browser to solve problems. You can also use it to install anything. Install MATLAB. You want to install MATLAB? You can also use install NumPy or Seaborn. You are plotting for data science. Also install here. Can you see it's installing Seaborn for me now? Also install package here with this command line, just like your command. and you're able to save your file as well and see at the end of the day. Now, for the last, so before that, you can also use, if you also want to use, in case you want to use your VS Code as well instead of for Jupyter Notebook, it's also permitted. Also come to your VS Code back, and where's the VS Code? Come to your VS Code back here, and also install what's called Jupyter Notebook here. So everything's in VS Code. So you don't need to disturb yourself too much. Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter something this way. For you to begin that, Ctrl Shift P, or Command Shift P, right? Create new Jupyter Notebook. You see, it has started. Sometimes it will require you that you should use maybe you should set the path. Just select the path same way. Then 67 plus 19. Hit enter. Ask me to select which environment I want to use for my Python. Select okay 3.12. Then I have it here. H1Z. I also want to use the PyCharm. Want to use notebook now. Now let us come to the final one, which is the IDE. That's Integrated Development Environment. That is PyCharm. It's developed by the JetBrains. So if you are a student and you have a school email that ends with .edu, you can, and your school has registered, your school should have registered with your IT school, or you can ask them to register your email so that they will have registered. So they just log in and obtain a student for a student version. And the same version also is like it's a full version. Also, it's also a lecturer as well. You can also advance it, or you're a professional, but you have an email that ends with .edu education. So you're in the educational research line. So you can also use all the full features of PyCharm. So I'm going to be showing you this PyCharm here. So I'm going to be going through it hopefully. So now let me close the file here. Then just close everything, close project. If you just finish installing, you will see something like this. If you just install it, you won't see anything here. Then you can come to settings. You can create desktop environment in case if you are on Linux machine or Mac, it will create the desktop so that for launching icon for you. So create this environment here. So you can also get license, manage license, all those things. Create a new project. Create a new project here. You can also use it for Django, anything, web.js, React.js. Then you can select the project file name. If this is the part of the project location, then I'm selecting my file name is what? Hello world. Then see, it's going to create a virtual environment for me by default. In case I don't have an environment created, maybe using virtual VNV, pip env, it will create its own environment for me so that it will activate it anytime I want to use it. Then I have it here. Yes, it's creating it now. Then, mind you, this environment, it contains some bin files of my Python package. You disturb yourself with that. So just collapse it here and click on new file. Let's just call it our app.py app. Already a py file. So no time for GitHub now. So now you can also increase the font if you can also increase the font, but the video is getting long. So you can also type in 78, so 90. So you can see here that this one came with one. You can also run this IDE. This is a full feature IDE. So this is not showing me anything here. You can just print 78 plus 90. You can see something here. So we have our results here. So you can create many things. I use this IDE a lot for big projects. So thank you very much, guys. The installation part I'm going to include in below sections. Also, please follow us on follow the link, videos, and like and share. God bless you. I will see you in the next lecture. Have a wonderful day ahead.